So the third period just underway as we speak. The Comets down 2-1. So the fans here, including myself, are getting pretty anxious to see what the final result will bring. The Comets almost scoring there, but one thing again is for sure, it is a lot of fun to be down here at Tony's Autolicious tonight.
Oh, the warm weather is coming when the smell of burning rubber and the roar of the engine come back to Daytona Beach, kicking off the return of the Sprint Cup Series. Today began the final season for pole sitter Jeff Gordon, so let's head right down the coast for the Daytona 500. There will be another series from here for the Utica Comets, and that is the Calder Cup Finals against the Manchester Monarchs, with Game 1, as Mike said, on Saturday night. That'll do it from here. What a crazy night it was. I'm surprised that the roof is still here on the Odd, reporting live on the ice of the 2015 AHL Western Conference champions. Basketball, you want to win an NBA championship. If you play football, you want to win the Super Bowl. Baseball, it's the World Series. But if you play hockey, your one goal is to win the Stanley Cup. It is the most coveted trophy in all of sports, and last night the Chicago Blackhawks had a chance to win it on their home ice for the first time in 77 years. A common theme in playoff hockey is that a team that has more rest tends to be a little bit rusty come Game 1 of the following series. That wasn't the case here tonight, as the Manchester Monarchs came out flying. The Comets looked a little bit sluggish, and the Monarchs prevented the Comets from doing what they do best, getting strong on the forecheck and playing a speedy style game.
Now, you chose the number 14 for your jersey number here in Utica. I was number.
Choose it.
Okay, well, you got the number 14. You know, I was number 14 at New Hartford. Also didn't necessarily choose it because my favorite number is 12. But you know, just how much of an influence did, you know, a certain sports anchor have on your playing career?
I should say pretty big, but we won't go into details. No, we had a good team growing up, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, we did.
There may be no round of 64 game being played by the Syracuse Orange today, but there's certainly no shortage of March Madness here on campus. After the NCAA handed down sanctions on the basketball and football programs on March 6th for academic fraud, drug policy violations, among other issues, head coach of the basketball team, Jim Boeheim, finally spoke out for the first time. Boeheim met with the media at the Carrier Dome for nearly an hour today in order to discuss some of the issues that we've been waiting to learn more about since the NCAA's investigation came to a close a couple weeks ago. He spoke very calmly and confidently, making it very clear that he believes the basketball program has been unfairly targeted with punishments that are unjust and harsh given the circumstances. He cited his support for the football program, but specified that the team was found to have had 3 instances of academic fraud across the 10-year investigation conducted by the NCAA, while the basketball program was only found to have 1. Yet despite these findings, Boeheim said that the basketball team received the brunt of the punishments with little basis to determine the severity. Boeheim took responsibility for some of the issues in question, stating that his responsibility as head coach to make sure all players are in compliance, but maintained that it is impossible for him to know everything that goes on with every assignment. He also talked about the decision to retire in 3 years and made reference to future decisions regarding the program.
I don't hire anybody. Chancellor Severud will hire the next coach. It's his decision who the next coach will be. I have talked to him about it. I believe Mike Hopkins will be a great coach, and I fervently hope that he is the coach here. But that's something the Chancellor will decide with the Board of Trustees, like they decide every major issue that happens at Syracuse University.
Boeheim said that he's unable to appeal the 9-game suspension for ACC play, but that he does plan to appeal his right to coach in the practices leading up to conference play. So while there may be no round of 64 game going on for the Orange, it's certainly no shortage of March Madness here on campus. Reporting at Syracuse University, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2 Sports. Hakan Brecky, a senior captain of the Raiders swim and dive team, founded Kids Action for Kids, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping all children in Thailand have the opportunities that we have here to correct the birth defect known as cleft lips and or palates. Today, Brecky's teammates from Colgate began swimming and will continue to do so for the next 2 days nonstop to help raise funds and awareness for the cause. There are 15 members of the team that have been broken up into groups of 3 or 4 and will rotate being in the pool for 3 hours at a time until the 48 hours are up. The corrective surgeries cost up to $800 a piece, something that Brecky and company hope to make a little bit more affordable for those in need.
Our goal is $8,000. It's ambitious, but I think we can get there. That would be equivalent to 20 operations, so 20 lives changed forever. And the thing about these operations is it doesn't just change the kids' life, although for him now he can eat properly, speak properly, those kind of things, but also for the families. To have people up in upstate New York want to help this cause it's phenomenal. I grew up in Thailand and went to an international school there, and it's understandable that those people are kind of more, they're closer to the cause, but to see people here rally around it is, it's a very, very pleasant surprise, like I said, inspiring. So far it's a huge success. We've raised $6,000 out of our $8,000 goal so far, and we're expecting more donations, and it's going swimmingly.
Now, as you just heard right there, the Raiders have already raised 75% of their goal in just the first few hours of the swim-a-thon, so certainly a great start for them. Now, donations can be made online in either a fixed amount or as a per-mile donation. All of that information can be found on our website at WKTV.com. Reporting live, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2. It was do-or-die time for the Utica Comets here tonight as trailing the Manchester Monarchs 3-1. They needed to win 3 straight games to capture the Calder Cup, but before even thinking about that, the Comets needed to take care of business tonight in Game 5 of the Calder Cup Finals to live and see another day. Comets fans packed the Aud once again, dressed in white, hoping to will their beloved Comets to one more home victory this season. First period, Monarchs 14-0 in the postseason when scoring first, and once again getting the early jump as off a Comets turnover, Adrian Kemp beats Jacob Markstrom to put the Monarchs up 1-0. Later in the first, the outlook becomes even more ominous for the Comets as the Monarchs' deadly power play strikes again. Nick Dowd cross ice to Vincent Laverde, who blasts the one-timer to the back of the net as the Monarchs increase their lead to 2-0. In the second, Comets have their chances but can't score, so Markstrom standing tall, doing his part to keep it a 2-goal game. What a stop by Markey, who finished with 17 on the night. Finally, in the third, the net empty and time running out. The Comets break through on Patrick Bartozak as Cal O'Reilly lights the lamp with 14 seconds to go to make it interesting. But that would be as close as the Comets would get. The magical season has come to an end as the Monarchs win Game 5 2-1, win the series 4-1, and become the 2015 Calder Cup champions in their final season in the AHL before moving west next year. Take out your Metric cards and get ready for a good one. The Mets and Yankees both in first place and both playing very good baseball of late. The Yankees ended the Mets' 11-game winning streak last night with a 6-1 win, and so in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend set, the Amazons were looking for some payback. Out to Yankee Stadium we go, where the Dark Knight, Matt Harvey, looking to improve to 4-0 on the young season. Top of the first, Mets get going early. Lucas Duda surfing one out to the short porch and right. A solo shot gives Queens a 1-0 lead. Top 4, Mets up 3-1 now and breaking it wide open. Kevin Plawecki gets a hold of the CC Sabathia offering and hits a screaming line drive that clears the left field wall. The first major league homer of Plawecki's career, a 2-run jack, and it puts the Amazons up 5-1. Bottom 7, just like Batman, Matt Harvey not invincible as Mark Teixeira plays the Joker and plants a text message into deep right field to bring the Bombers to within 7-2. But also like Batman, Harvey usually gets right back up and gets the job done, striking out Alex Rodriguez in the bottom of the 9th. The Dark Knight pitched 8 2/3 innings and remains undefeated as he lifts the Mets over the Yankees 8-2. Definitely not the spot that the Comets wanted to be in, but they get a chance to get right back at it tomorrow and try to force a decisive Game 6 in a do-or-die Game 5 here at the Aud tomorrow. Until then, reporting live from the Utica Aud and the Calder Cup Finals. Reporting live from the Calder Cup Finals at the Utica Aud. Reporting from Manchester. Reporting from Syracuse University, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2 Sports.